I sat in my old car. The car was cold. I held a white box on my lap. The box was warm. Inside were cinnamon rolls. I made them this morning. The smell was sweet and warm. It was the smell of home. It was the smell of better days. I looked at the box. The cinnamon rolls were still warm. I hoped they could fix things. I hoped my mother liked them. She always liked my cinnamon rolls before. My name is Maya. I work at a hospital. I am an HR manager. That means I help people with their problems at work. I help them talk to each other. I help them fix fights, but I could not help myself. I could not fix my own problems. On Thanksgiving, I had a big fight with my mother. We said bad things. We were angry. I left her house. I cried in my car. I did not call her for weeks. Now, it was Christmas Eve. I wanted to say sorry. I wanted to come home. I drove from the city to Ohio. The roads were quiet. Snow was everywhere. The fields were white. The sky was dark. My car moved slowly on the icy road. I had a letter in my coat pocket. I wrote it by hand. I wrote, "Dear Mom," at the top. I said sorry many times in the letter. I told her I loved her. I told her I wanted to be a family again. The drive took 3 hours. I listened to Christmas songs on the radio. I sang a little. I was nervous. I reached my mother's street at 8 o'clock. The houses had Christmas lights, red, green, and white lights blinked everywhere. My mother's house was at the end of the street. I parked my car near the house. I looked at the house. The windows were bright. I saw the Christmas tree inside. The tree had gold and silver balls. The lights on the tree blinked and sparkled. The tree looked beautiful. It looked perfect. I took the box of cinnamon rolls. I took the letter from my pocket. I walked to the front door. Snow fell on my hair. The snow was cold and soft. My boots made sounds in the snow. I stood at the door. I took a deep breath. I knocked on the door. I waited. No one came. I knocked again. I knocked louder. Still, no one came. I called out, "Mom, it's me. It's Maya." My voice was loud. I knocked again and again. "Please open the door. I want to talk to you." Nothing happened. The door stayed closed. The door was locked. I looked through the window. I saw my mother inside. She sat on the sofa. My sister Rachel sat next to her. They were talking. They looked warm and safe. I knocked on the window. "Mom, Rachel, I'm here." I called their names. They did not look at me. They did not move. My phone rang. It was not a call. It was a text message. The message was from Rachel. I opened it. The message said, "Don't make things worse. Just leave." I read it again. I read it 3 times. My hands started to shake. I looked at the window again. Rachel was still on the sofa. She held her phone. She looked at my mother. She did not look at me. I stood in the snow. The snow fell on my face. The cold hurt my skin. I watched my family through the glass. They were inside. They were warm. They were together. I was outside. I was cold. I was alone. The cinnamon rolls in the box were still warm, but my heart was cold. This was Christmas Eve. This was the most important night of the year, but I was locked out. I was locked out of my own home. I was locked out of my own life. I stood there for a long time. The snow covered my shoulders. My feet were cold. My hands were cold. But I could not move. I just watched them through the window. I watched my family, and they did not see me at all. I did not leave. I walked back to my car. I got inside. I closed the door. The car was very cold now. The box of cinnamon rolls sat next to me. They were cold too. I moved my car to a dark corner. I parked behind a big tree. No one could see me there. I turned off the lights. I sat in the dark. I looked at my mother's house. The lights were still bright. The tree still sparkled in the window. I did not know what to do. I did not understand. Why did Rachel tell me to leave? Why did my mother not open the door? What did I do wrong? My phone made a sound. It was not a text this time. It was an email. I opened the email. My hands were cold. My fingers were stiff. The email was from the hospital. It was from the hospital board. The board was my boss. They were the big bosses of everyone. I read the email slowly. The words were bad, very bad. The email said I was suspended. That means I could not work. The email said there was an investigation. That means they were looking at my work. They were checking everything I did. The email said someone took money. Charity, money, money for sick people, money for poor people. The email said I took that money. It said I was a thief. I read it again. My heart beat fast. This was not true. I did not take any money. I never took money from anyone. I helped people. That was my job. I put my phone down. My hands shook. I felt sick. I felt scared. Why did someone say this about me? Who said this? Then I understood. I understood everything. This was why my mother did not open the door. This was why Rachel told me to leave. Someone told them I was a thief. Someone sent them a message. Someone said I stole money. My mother believed it. Rachel believed it. They thought I was bad. They thought I was a criminal. That was why they locked the door. I picked up my phone again. I looked at my emails. I looked at old emails from last week. I found one. It was from my mother. She sent it 5 days ago. The email said, "We need to talk. Call me." I did not call her. I was too nervous. I thought she was still angry about Thanksgiving, but now I knew. She wanted to talk about this. She thought I stole it. I felt angry now. Someone lied about me. Someone told my family lies. Someone wanted to hurt me. I got out of my car. The cold air hit my face. The snow fell harder now. I walked across the street. I walked to my mother's house, but I did not go to the front door. I went to the side of the house. There was a garage. Next to the garage was a big blue bin. It was the recycling bin. My mother always put paper there, old newspapers, old mail, old printouts. I opened the bin. It was dark. I used my phone light. I looked inside. There were many papers. I took them out one by one. I looked at each paper. Then I found it. It was an email, but it was printed on paper. It was not on a phone or computer. Someone printed it. The email said, "Your daughter is a thief." That was the subject line. The top of the email, then there were more words. The email said, I took money from the hospital. It said I took money from sick children. It said I was bad. It said I was a criminal. I looked at the email. My heart was cold. My hands were cold. But I was not cold because of the snow. I was cold because of fear. I looked at the bottom of the paper. There was a small code there, a printer code. I learned this at work. The code tells you which printer printed the paper. I looked at the code. I knew this code. I saw this code before, many times, on many papers. It was my mother's printer, the printer inside my mother's house. Someone printed this email inside my mother's house. Someone in my family printed it. Then someone said they got the email from outside, but that was a lie. The email came from inside the house. My heart beat very fast. I felt sick. I felt like I could not breathe. They did not just believe the lie, they made the lie. Someone in my family created this lie. Someone wanted everyone to think I was a thief. I stood in the snow. I held the paper in my hands. The snow fell on the paper. The words started to get wet. My family did this to me. My own family. On Christmas Eve, I put the paper in my coat pocket. I walked back to my car. I sat inside. I was cold. I was scared. I was angry. I looked at my mother's house again. The lights were still on. My family was still inside. They were warm. They were safe. They were liars. I heard a car. The sound came from down the street. I looked up. A black car drove slowly toward the house. The car was new and clean. It was expensive. The car stopped in front of my mother's house. A man got out. I knew that man. It was Derek. Derek was my ex-boyfriend. We broke up 2 years ago. Derek looked good. He wore a long black coat. His shoes were shiny. His hair was perfect. He looked like a lawyer. He was a lawyer, a successful lawyer. Derek walked to the front door. He knocked. The door opened right away. My mother let him in. She smiled at him. She hugged him. The door closed. I felt confused. Why was Derek here? Why did my mother let him in? She did not let me in, but she let Derek in. I waited in my car. I watched the house. After 10 minutes, Derek came out. He walked to his car, but then he stopped. He looked around. He saw my car. He walked toward me. I did not move. Derek came to my car window. He knocked on the glass. I opened the window a little. Maya? He said. Is that you? Yes, I said. My voice was quiet. What are you doing here? He asked. He looked worried. He looked kind. I came to see my mother, I said. I heard the news. Derek said. Rachel called me. She told me about the hospital. She told me about the money. I'm so sorry, Maya. I did not say anything. I just looked at him. Listen, Derek said. I want to help you. I'm a lawyer. I can help you with this problem. I can talk to the hospital. I can talk to the board. Why do you want to help me? I asked. Because I care about you, Derek said. We were together for 3 years. I still care. Please, let me help. I looked at his face. He looked honest. He looked safe. Maybe he could help me. Maybe I needed help. Okay, I said. Thank you. Good, Derek said. But we need to move fast. The hospital board will meet tomorrow. We need to prepare. I brought some papers. You need to sign them. They are authorization papers. They let me talk to the hospital for you. He went to his car. He came back with a folder. He opened it. There were many papers inside. Sign here, he said. He pointed to a line, and here, and here. The words were small. The sentences were long. I did not understand all the words. I felt tired. I felt confused. Can I read them first? I asked. Of course, Derek said. But Maya, you look exhausted. You look cold. Do you want to sit in my car? It's warm. You can read the papers there. I thought about it. I was very cold. My fingers hurt. My car was like ice. Okay, I said. I went to Derek's car. I got in the front seat. The car was warm. The heater was on. It felt good. Derek gave me the papers. I looked at them, but I could not focus. The words looked blurry. I felt so tired. Then I had an idea. An HR idea. A work idea. At work, I always checked everything. I always looked for problems. I never just believed people. Derek, I said, can I use your laptop? I need to check my work email. I need to see what the hospital sent me. Oh, Derek said, sure. My laptop is in the back seat. He reached back. He got his laptop. He gave it to me. He opened it. The screen turned on. Thank you, I said. Derek got out of the car. I'll give you some space, he said. I'll go talk to your mother for a minute. Take your time. He walked away. He went back to my mother's house. The door opened. He went inside. I looked at the laptop. I did not check my email. I had a different idea. I opened a folder. The folder said recent files. I looked at the files. There were many documents, legal papers, court papers. Then I saw one file. The name made my heart stop. The file was called Confession Letter. I opened it. I read it slowly. The letter said I, Maya Carter. It said I took the money. It said I was sorry. It said I did it. It was a confession for a crime I did not do. My name was already in the letter. Everything was ready. Derek just needed my signature. Then I would confess. Then I would go to jail. Then my life would end. Derek did not come to help me. He came to destroy me. He wanted me to sign my life away. But why? Why would he do this? I closed the laptop. My hands shook. I looked at my mother's house. Derek was inside. He was with my family. They were all together, and I was alone with the truth. I got out of Derek's car. I took his laptop with me. I walked quickly to my car. I put the laptop inside. Derek was still in the house. He did not see me. I had to know more. I had to understand why. Why did Derek want to hurt me? Why did my family hate me? I thought about my father. He died 2 years ago. He loved this house. He loved this family. He had secrets. He had hiding places. One secret was a spare key. My father showed me once. He said, "Only you and I know this, Maya." The key was under a brick. The brick was near the back door. near the garage. I walked to the back of the house. The snow was deep here. No one came to the back. I looked for the brick. It was red. It was different from the other bricks. I found it. I moved the brick. The key was there. It was old and cold. I took it. The key opened the garage door. The small door. Not the big car door. I put the key in the lock. I turned it slowly. The door opened. I went inside the garage. It was dark. It was cold. But it was not as cold as outside. I closed the door behind me. The garage had many boxes, old furniture, my father's things. My mother never threw away his things. There was a window. The window looked into the kitchen. I could see inside the house. I moved closer to the window. I saw my mother. Her name was Linda. She sat at the kitchen table. She looked sad. She looked tired. Rachel sat next to her. Rachel held her hand. Rachel talked to her. Rachel looked beautiful. She always looked beautiful. Her hair was perfect. Her clothes were perfect. Her smile was perfect. Everything about Rachel was perfect. Derek stood near them. He talked too. He moved his hands. He looked serious. He looked like he was helping. I could not hear them. The window was closed. I looked around the garage. Then I remembered something. The old intercom system. My father put an intercom in the garage. He used it to talk to my mother. He could press a button. Then he could hear the kitchen. He could talk to my mother without going inside. I found the intercom. It was on the wall. It was old. It had dust on it. I turned it on. I pressed the listen button. I heard voices. I heard my family. Rachel was talking. Mom, don't worry. Derek will fix everything. Maya will go away. She will leave us alone, my mother said. But she's my daughter. She's your sister. She's a thief, Mom, Rachel said. Her voice was cold. She stole money. She's bad. We don't need her. Derek said. I talked to the board. They will press charges. Maya will go to court. She will probably go to jail. My mother started to cry. I can't believe it. I can't believe Maya did this, Rachel said. I know, Mom. I know. But it's true. And we have to think about us now. We have to think about the house, about the money. The will, my mother said quietly. Yes, Rachel said. Dad's will. Remember what Dad said? Only the child with a clean record can get the trust fund. Only the child with no criminal record can get the house. I stopped breathing. I listened carefully. Rachel continued. If Maya goes to jail, she has a criminal record. She can't get anything. The house is mine. The money is mine. All of it. Derek said, That's right. And Rachel, you promised to help me. You said you would pay my debts. I will, Rachel said, after I get the money. After Maya is gone, then I will pay you. I will give you what you need. Good, Derek said. Bad people, dangerous people. I need that money soon. I know, Rachel said. That's why we made this plan. That's why we sent the email. That's why we told the hospital. Everything is working perfectly. My mother said, I feel bad. Maya is my daughter. Mom, Rachel said, Her voice was hard. Maya is nothing. She is a problem. After this, we will be fine. We will be rich. We will be happy. Just the two of us. I stood in the dark garage. I listened to every word. My sister did this. Rachel made the lie. Rachel sent the email. Rachel told the hospital. Derek helped her. They wanted the money. They wanted the house. They wanted me gone. My father left me the house. He left me the trust fund, but only if I was good. Only if I had no criminal record. Rachel knew this, so she made me look bad. She made me look like a criminal. My hands became fists. My heart was full of anger. But I did not cry. I did not scream. I was alone in the dark. But I was not weak. I was strong, and I would fight back. I stayed in the garage. I thought about my father. He died 2 years ago. I missed him every day. He was a good man. He was smart. He always knew the truth about people. Before he died, he said something to me. He said, Maya, justice is always where you least expect it. I did not understand then, but now I understood. Justice was here, in this garage, in his things. I looked around. There were many boxes, many old things. I saw my father's trunk. It was big and brown. It was in the corner. My father kept his special things in that trunk. I opened the trunk. Inside were old photos, old papers, old clothes. I moved everything carefully. I looked at each thing. Then I found something hard, something metal. It was a small safe, a mini safe. It was locked. I needed a key. I looked in the trunk. No key. I looked around the garage. Where was the key? Then I remembered. My father had a watch box. He kept his watches in a special box. The box was in the trunk too. I found it. I opened it. There were 3 watches inside, and under the watches was a small key. I took the key. My hands shook. I put the key in the safe. I turned it. The safe opened. Inside was a letter. The paper was old. The writing was my father's writing. I read it slowly. Dear Maya, the letter said, if you are reading this, I am gone. Rachel is not who you think. She is greedy. She wants money. She took money from me for years. I have proof. I have bank statements. They are in this safe. Keep them safe. Use them when you need them. I love you. You are my good daughter, Dad. I felt tears in my eyes. My father knew. He knew about Rachel. He knew she was bad. He left me proof. He left me the truth. I looked in the safe again. There were papers, bank statements. They showed money, money that left my father's account, money that went to Rachel's account. The dates were from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Rachel took money from our father for many years. I took all the papers. I put them in my coat. I took the letter too. This was my proof. This was my weapon. But I needed more. I needed the recording, the conversation I just heard. Rachel and Derek talking about their plan. I looked at the intercom. It was old. It could not record. But my phone could record. I took out my phone. I pressed record. I held it near the intercom speaker. Rachel was still talking. Tomorrow, Derek will get Maya to sign the papers. Then it's done. Then we win. Derek said, "She trusts me. She will sign." I recorded everything. I recorded for 5 minutes. Then I stopped. I had enough. I waited. I waited in the garage all night. I waited all day on Christmas Day. I sat in the dark. I was cold. I was hungry. But I did not leave. I waited for the right time. At 7 o'clock on Christmas night, I heard sounds, dinner sounds, plates, forks, voices. They were eating Christmas dinner, all of them together. My mother, Rachel, Derek. I took a deep breath. I took my phone. I took my father's papers. I walked to the door that connected the garage to the house. I opened the door. I walked into the kitchen. They were at the table. They were eating turkey. They were laughing. They saw me. They stopped. Their faces went white. Rachel stood up. Derek stood up. My mother just stared at me. "Hello," I said. My voice was calm. My voice was strong. "Maya," Rachel said, "what are you doing here?" "I came for dinner," I said. "It's Christmas. Family should be together." I walked to the table. I put my phone on the table. I pressed play. The recording played. Rachel's voice came out, clear and loud. "Maya will go away. She will leave us alone." Then Derek's voice. "Maya will go to court. She will probably go to jail." Then Rachel again. "If Maya goes to jail, she has a criminal record. The house is mine. The money is mine." The recording played everything. Every word. Every lie. Every plan. Rachel's face went red. Derek tried to run, but the front door opened. 2 police officers came in. I called them 1 hour ago. I told them everything. I sent them the recording. I sent them my father's papers. They came right away. "Rachel Carter," one officer said. "Derek Wilson? You are under arrest." Rachel screamed. Derek said nothing. The officers put handcuffs on them. They took them away. My mother sat at the table. She cried. She did not move. I stood there. I watched them leave. Justice was here. My father was right. It was where I least expected it. In his old trunk, in his old garage, in his love for me. The police car drove away. Rachel was inside. Derek was inside too. They were gone. The street was quiet. She walked down the steps. She came to me. She fell to her knees in the snow. She cried. She reached for my hands. "Maya," she said, "please. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I believed Rachel. I should have believed you. Please forgive me." I looked at her. She was my mother, but she locked me out. She believed the lies. She did not trust me. She chose Rachel. She did not choose me. "Please," my mother said again, "come inside. The food is still warm. We can have Christmas dinner, just the 2 of us. Please, Maya." I looked at the house. The lights were still on. The tree still sparkled. The house looked warm. It looked safe. It looked like home. But it was not home. Not anymore. This house had cold walls. This house had lies. This house had people who hurt me. My own family hurt me. "No," I said. My voice was quiet, but strong. I don't want to come inside. But Maya, my mother started. I spent Christmas alone, I said. I was cold. I was sad. I was locked out. But I learned something. I learned I don't need this house to be warm. I don't need you to be happy. My mother cried harder. Please don't say that. It's true, I said. You made your choice. You chose Rachel. You did not choose me. Now, I choose myself. I walked away. I walked to my car. My mother called my name, but I did not stop. I did not look back. I got in my car. I closed the door. I looked at the seat next to me. The box of cinnamon rolls was still there, the box from Christmas Eve. 2 days ago, the rolls were cold now, very cold. I opened the box. I took out one roll. I looked at it. It was hard. The sugar on top was not shiny anymore. The cinnamon smell was weak. I took a bite. The roll was cold and hard, but the taste was good. It was sweet. It was mine. I made these rolls. I made them with love. And now I could eat them alone, in peace. I took another bite. The roll tasted better than before. It tasted like freedom. It tasted like truth. It tasted like a new life. Sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes your family hurts you. Sometimes they erase you from their lives. But maybe that is good. Maybe you need to be erased to find yourself. Maybe you need to be alone to be free. I started my car. I drove away. I left the house behind. I left my mother behind. I left my old life behind. The snow fell on my car. The road was dark, but I was not scared. I was not sad. I was free. And that was the best Christmas gift of all. I'm happy you listened all the way to the end. If this story made you feel something, please give it a like. It really helps the video reach more English learners. You can also share it with one friend or classmate who loves stories. And please subscribe to Cavaco English Storytime so you do not miss the next episode. New stories are coming soon. When you subscribe, you join our warm reading family. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for growing your English with me today.